Something seriously is happening. Something very serious is happening. And our so-called political elites and leaders do not care. They're not doing anything about it. They feel very unconcerned about it. Our political elites do not care about it. Our people are left rudderless, tossed here and there by the tempests and the winds of the sea. Nobody cares. Every day we hear stories of thousands and thousands of Futajelong Kambari Fulani being transported by every means of transportation down into our land, down into the John Nation, down into Igbo land, down into Shekiri land, down into Ogoni land, down into Yoruba land, down into Edo, every day, in the most unthinkable factions, in their thousands. If you go to Bayelsa today, as I'm talking, all the fishing settlements and the farming villages are occupied and controlled by these fellows. We are job people, we are strong. Nothing is going to happen. A man is only strong when he's with his people, when he has enough number to overcome his enemy. We should not underestimate these people. They have our money with us. They have been receiving tons and tons of our money. Their brother Abacha stole and sharing it amongst themselves. A minister in a federation came to say that sharing the money in the north because there are no poor people in the south. And where are our governors? Where are our local ministers? Where are our women rights ministers? Where are our women rights lawyers? All of them, they close their mouth. But this is more sinister. This is more sinister. They are coming here. They are changing the demography. What are they coming for? You remember Osman Danfodio? How they came to Sokoto, to Gobiri, to Kano, to Katsina, to Bida. And what happened? They replaced the Abe rulers. They replaced the original people and took over the realms of power. They are coming. History is going to repeat itself if we don't act now. They are coming. History is going to repeat itself if we don't act now. They are not pretending about it. They are coming with war, destruction and death. They are coming to occupy our land. Why you cannot go to your community? In Obama, how many Obama people are at home? They are leaving their home and they are coming here. Obama is a village. You cannot come to Obama. Those of us who live in Obama, we are backward people. Buguma is a village. Abonima is a village. You don't care. You are not bothered. But when death will come, it will not only come for Dokubasari. When the evil and the tribulation will come, it will not come for only Dokubasari, it will come for all of us. I'm smarter than you. I know that I'm more prepared than you. And when it comes, I will also run faster than you. To be forewarned is to be forehand. It's not grandstanding like Wiki. I caught 14 people grandstanding. This is beyond grandstanding. This is a time for strategy. This is a time for consultation. This is a time for meeting. Our very survival is at stake. We must stand up and defend ourselves, or we will all perish in the hands of these blood-tasty monsters who will give us the Sokoto treatment.
Fulanis that are now invading every nook and crannies of Nigerian rural villages. I mean, there is no cardinal point. There is no zone that is spared by this element. From the hinterland of Zamfara down to the creeks of Bayelsa, for as long as there is soil, there are grass, there are bushes growing in there. These guys have infiltrated all parts of Nigeria. It has always also been the Fulanis that hold the top positions in the military. Okay, so we are now having insecurities. Now, those that have been unveiled to be perpetrating these insecurities are still the same Fulanis. They call them Fulani Islamic jihadists. The security of the Yoruba land lies in the hands of the Yoruba men. And when we are on the operation of counter-terrorism, we must apply wisdom. Some 14 able Iromi men have been taken to Abuja for consequences. What happened in Iromi now has led to another seizure of over 2,000 guns of the vigilantes. What do you think is going to happen to those Edo vigilantes in the coming days? No, you tell me. What do you think is going to happen?
That Nigerian government is the sole sponsor of this terrorist going on in Nigeria. People don't still understand what is going on. Okay, a lot of people don't still know what is playing in Nigeria.
But the position is secured. Now, what you are doing now, you want to start, advancing the interest of those religious groups to actually now confirm that Nigeria is an Islamic state. And let me tell you something that people don't know. This thing was caused by the British. Between 1900 and 1960, they knew that they cannot govern the North except they allowed them to practice their religion, and they were using their religious leader to basically govern them. It is called indirect rule. Immediately after independence, 1960, the British knew that they shouldn't have forged these two people together. They know. But because they want to achieve the divide and rule and to be able to conquer and take our resources and steal whatever they want to steal over the years, they merged these two people together. They could not govern the North and South under one religious or administration. They know. So they now give independence and march you people to work together. That was why the 1960 coup started. That was how the Civil War started. Now, 86, Babangida came with the OIC stuff, trying to Islamize us. It didn't work. In 2000, when 1999-2000, when Obasanjo came, he permitted them to start practicing Sharia. Today now, they want to consolidate it. Once you remove that person, all of us, whether you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Jukun, Christian, traditional, you are now under the law, the Islamic law, because they put it in the Constitution.
In fact, listening to the member that was representing Ahoda East, Abu Anudua Federal Constituency, River State, I want to get his words. He said personal matters that was envisaged, he says, by the people who drafted this constitution. And I want to quote him. The implication is, if the word personal is removed, Islamic law would have broader implications. The word personal was put there for a reason. Let's talk a bit about this whole conversation about Islamizing the country with our population and our dynamics. Is it possible that someone can sneak this in at some point and force all of us under some sort of regulation that we do not ascribe to? Is it possible that this can happen in this country?
It is possible, and don't be deceived. It's going to happen. Do you know Constantinople? Today's Turkey? They were almost 98% Christian before now. Today, it's an Islamic country. I did Islam in my master's program, and I was trained by Professor Alijani. He's a Persian. He's an Iranian American. And I scored A. That's excellent in Islam. So I know them. It may take them 1,000 years. They will Islamize Nigeria. So they will take it slowly, gradually. They don't forget. All of us will be dead after some time. Our children that don't care, or this Jersey will come. They will still Islamize this country. If they can do it in Turkey, today's Turkey, what stops you? Why do you think they won't do it here? Except we take steps now, because we are the ones that are talking about these things. Our next generation in 50 years will not even care. You understand? So I'm thinking that if some part of the country, I don't want to be specific, if they feel strongly about an ideology, a religious, but I think they can restrict it to their area. And I think maybe Tinubu should do well by developing this issue of regional autonomy where everybody should organize themselves, or at worst, let the country actually go apart, and you can do whatever you want in your area. I've come to that conclusion that I don't think we can stay together because of this very strong belief about religion. So it's either we stay together, or people should mind their religion and stay where they are and practice what they want. Imposing it on others is wrong. I study Islam, and I don't want to talk blasphemy here. If I start talking about Islam in the next 3 hours, we will not live here.
No, we don't want you to talk blasphemy either. Talking about our country, in many, we are not a religious country, so to on paper. We're a secular nation. What kinds of conversations should we be having with the Nigerian people, especially the younger generation, about how to ensure that we remain secular, where you can practice your religion in any part of the country that you please without imposing your views or belief systems on any other person? What kind of conversations should we be having, and what should our lawmakers be thinking at the back of their minds? At least they've made the first step, which is dropping this bill and ensuring that it doesn't go through. But in subsequent conversations that you said will inevitably come up, what should we be doing as a people to ensure this doesn't happen?
I'm going to be extreme. For me, if you look at Sudan, you have now North Sudan, South Sudan. I think we should have Northern Nigeria and Southern. Then they can practice whatever they want. There's no dialogue because they will not stop. I've told you it may take 1,000 years. They will still do it. Or if you let everybody go their way, maybe you have the north.
That is it.
They remain there, and you have the sovereignty down south. Then you can do what you want. Or if you remain and you think you can talk to your Jersey and people that don't care about anything, it will happen. It took hundreds of years before Turkey, Constantinople, Istanbul was converted completely today. And if you look at history will tell you that you cannot assuage these people. Who owns those banks? I did a lot of research, and I want our audience to go and find out the owner of Taj Bank and the other bank. Then the picture will start getting clear to you. You have the Jaiz Bank and you have the Taj Bank. It is an open source information. Go on the internet, the board of directors, you will see the shareholders. I don't want to mention them on national television. Go and do your research, and you're beginning to understand. You begin to understand what I said, that people have been sponsoring terrorism because they want to Islamize Nigeria. Now Tinubu has come, and it's a little bit very hard on them. That section, the kinetic approach is failing. So they are now trying to bring it through the constitution, want to legalize it. If we cannot go through the bush and kill as many people and they are still resisting us, and this man has come and is fighting this is just killing all the fighters, then let us go to the house and bring it in through the back door. We just remove that clause, personal. They will not know, they may not pay attention. They will just, and that is it. They will still do this thing. Go and find out the owners of those banks. They are the ones sponsoring these narratives. And I always say it on television, who are the sponsors? Those guys speaking in the house, they are just paid to do that. And with time, they're going to bribe the remaining ones and they will pass it. If not this year, it may be 10 years time. If it's not 10 years time, it may be 50 years. They are going to Islamize this country. But I think the solution, what we should be discussing with people should try to understand we are not the same people. The North and South are not the same. The British understood. That's what they are doing indirectly. And they deliberately merge us so that we can continue to fight like this and they can continue to take our resources away.
Speaking about the British,
tell ourselves the home truth, because we must tell ourselves the home truth. What we must do to challenge these bandits, because we all know the consequences of this banditry and insurgency on the morale and on our lives. But it will take decades to get out of it, if at all we get out of it, because we all know the consequences and we know the problems. Now we pray to Almighty Allah to guide us right in this two-day summit, to come up with proposals to not end insurgency, because you cannot end insurgency everywhere, but to bring it to the minimum that people can go about their lives without let or hindrance. Distinguished Excellencies, I will not forget to recognize the former president who came all the way from Daura for this program. That shows his commitment and concern too, as a Northwesterner. And I think it's important for us to always pray for our leaders. Most people here and those listening, because I think this is televised, most people gathered are fairly very, very familiar with the causes as well as the consequences of the insecurity in this part of the country for the last 1 decade or so. Reports after reports, conferences after conferences, consultations after consultations, and of course recommendations after recommendations. Still, the problem persists. Why? It's time to ask the question, why are things still in the state they are today, despite the tons of money spent on procuring equipment for the services and also for the well-being of the personnel, and also what the governors have been doing to bring to an end this insecurity. We need to have this question for us to discuss and move and know how to move forward. But without giving an answer to this question, we cannot go anywhere. We will come back to another conference again. We're still talking about the same issue, the same problems. I'd like to thank UNDP and other United Nations agencies and the German government for supporting this conference in this beautiful hall, very conducive to talk about issues of insecurity. But the real issues are talked outside the hall, where the people live, in the villages, in the towns, and in the markets, which I think we need to discuss here, so that the governors will have a way forward in what really we all must do together to bring these problems to a minimal level. I would like to thank UNDP and other agencies, but I want to say, no matter how much support you give us, if we are not ready and willing to end these criminal activities, we can't succeed. We will be the ones to work for this and end these problems if we so desire. Nobody will come from somewhere to work for us. Nobody will come from the moon to solve these problems. We must solve our problems. I'm very much pleased with this inaugural meeting of the Northwest Governors Forum to once more talk about. We have had series of conferences in the last 10, 12 years on these issues. And the last one we had in 2022 was the most instructive, I think the best way forward. But unfortunately, we could not implement anything after elections 2023 came on. Now, a year after the elections, we have this program, program today in Fulani to discuss about what we need to do. I think it's important for us to tell ourselves the home truth, because we must tell ourselves the home truth. What we must do to challenge these bandits, because we all know the consequences of this banditry and insurgency on the morale and on our lives. Because it will take decades to get out of it, if at all we get out of it, because we all know the consequences and we know the problems. I would like to come back home as we discuss, because this is an open forum. There are so many things you cannot say, because you are on TV, you are on live TV, and you are also in the internet. So maybe when we come down in closed session, we discuss some of these issues. Because the last conference, as I've said, had former ministers of defense, had former service chiefs, and they brought one very good way forward, which we met with the Northern Governors Forum. And in fact, let me just say, we have met with the Northern Governors Forum nothing less than 5 to 6 times on some of these issues. Now, this new set of governors, I believe, will be the change we need to utilize on for us to reach out to everybody and have this successful outcome of whatever we decide to do. So we'd like to assure you, on behalf of the Northern Traditional Leaders, which happen to be the chairman, on behalf of all traditional leaders in the country, we are always ready, because we know the problem of the people on our shoulders, and people come to us, and we are always ready to work with the government or with the governors at all levels to move our states, our country forward. Be rest assured, we are willing, but our presence here alone shows that yes, we are here, and we are always willing, once we are called upon, or when we now call upon you, the governors, because we know your doors are always open to us. We have never stopped seeing us whenever we have issues to discuss with you. We will continue to work with you. We must continue to work with you, because we know that's the only way forward to save our region, to save our country from the numerous problems that we've been facing.
Hello, my people. Now come back. Indirectly, Nigerian politicians know what's going on, know everything about all these Fulani herdsmen that are demolishing and spoiling people farmland. Now that's also because now I don't see what many people talk inside this video. Them say now them they sponsor them. If not, they don't pursue them. You know, say normally you don't see we say they talk about all these bandits and Fulani herdsmen. We say that they destroy people farm, but nobody want to talk about this thing. Even a Fulani person now they do something to now this thing now therefore don't carry and go up. Anytime we say they do any small thing to any Fulani person, they go carry the matter go up. But if a Fulani person do something to person, then they carry that kind of matter go up. Ever since we say Nigerians they cry, say okay, may they pursue all these people out of this country. Nobody won't talk. Based on say we have some Nigerians that are better than some Nigerians in this country. Now Fulani people, now them be the people where we say okay, all these politicians and our leaders now in the value pass for this country. So now why be say okay, all these people will be saying now see for inside this video now why they indirectly some of them if you just open and up say okay now them do and bet now them be the cocoa of the matter be say the day behind Fulani herdsmen. God done they open their eyes now. So if you will say the hear me now, if you get anything concerning this matter, I beg you can drop them for inside comment section. And also if today is your first time here, please kindly like our video, share and subscribe. Thank you.